Hi guys, a slight change in plan with this Timberkits series. I made the two models that I'd got, the Dragon and the Pianist, and what I thought I could do was assemble this battery drive unit and switch it between the two of them. But reading the instructions, that isn't going to work. You basically fit it onto the bottom of one of them, glue them in place. There's also another problem, that when I initially read the instructions, because I thought I'd make this first and then make the models, I read, it says here, when the model is complete, decide how to arrange the wooden components of the drive base. So you had to make the model first and then decide how you're going to put the base together. What I didn't read was down here it says read the instructions for the model and the battery drive before you start work. The model must be made first and use the battery drive, and to use the battery drive, the handle crank and the diameter 12 by 12 spacer have to be discarded, and the plain pulley and diameter 12 by 5 spacer glued onto the drive shaft instead. So what that means is these two bits that I've glued on here we don't want on there. We should have glued that on there. Should also, yeah, with that spacer. So that should be on there. Now there's a good chance I can actually get these off by splitting them to get them off and then put that on there. So that's what I'll probably do. On this one I could do the same thing, but that base is too small anyway, so it won't work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this one on here, and for this one I've modified the radio control servo by taking the electronic circuitry out of it, directly connecting these wires onto the little motor in there, and modifying, there was a little bit of plastic in there that stopped it turning all the way around. I've taken that out, so now this one just runs as a low gear motor, and I reckon I can probably fit that under here somewhere. I'll need to put a big gear on there anyway, but I should be able to drive that from this and possibly even hide a battery up underneath somewhere. Although when I say hide, it won't be hidden because that's all open under there. So that's my plan. This one I'll do with that, and this one I'll do properly. So that's the first one working. I'm not sure whether I do actually want to glue it on there or not, just in case I want to use it for something else. So the fact it works is good enough. It's got the right sort of speed to it as well, hasn't it? Not too fast. So, turn that one off. Let's see what we can do to this one. I'll turn my hot glue gun on and I'll glue this under here. I'll pinch one of those rubber bands. Yeah, I'll do that and we'll see if that works. Hot glue gun time. I've just used the bare minimum bit of hot glue to hold that servo in place. And I haven't got an on-off switch at the moment, we just have to plug the battery in. I'm pleased the speed is about right. Yeah, so that works. I think he's been rude to me. The reason I used a minimum amount of hot glue on that is I'm going to take that off again, so I want to see if I can get that thing going with exactly the same setup. I'll add a pulley onto there. That's the one that I'm making just there. I'm pleased with that. I've just got a sneaking suspicion it might be better going the opposite way round, but I'm not going to worry about that for now. To complete the series, I've got my pterodactyl here, which is a completely different wooden kit, and did have the handle on this side, but the other side was convenient to fit the pulley onto. I'm not entirely sure which way round it's supposed to turn to make him look like he's flying. I've tried it both ways. You'll notice at the moment I got the rubber band actually crossed over here, so it's going the opposite way to the way I set it up initially. Now, I'm just not sure which way makes him look like he's flying. I'll just do it the other way so you can see it the other way round. I've taken the cross out so he flies the opposite way. But I really can't make up my mind which looks right. I don't think it's anything worth worrying about. It works. So I'll leave it at that. We've got 3 working automata.